I try to explain to him because I made a quote about the Ukrainian Soviet sniper that had the most Nazi heads, and he wanted to talk about when the Soviets um invaded Ukraine and all this stuff. And I tried to put, well, first of all, I don't even like put Stalin on a pedestal like that. So you could calm down with all that. But it's like he only wants to recognize his issues with the Soviet Union, that's the former Soviet Union, and doesn't want to recognize how much Nazism is related to this country. And I gave a lot of examples. A lot of examples. It's just like when you say that,
well, I mean, if he's willing to go so
if he's collaborator and the Nazi collaborator of Ukrainian descent, Bandera,
right?
He died in Germany, but he was responsible for killing Poles, not just communists and Jews.
Well, if somebody is saying that the Soviet Union invaded Ukraine during World War II, they're so far down the propaganda hole that there's not much you can do for them anyway.
I felt that after I felt that I did. I felt like it was a waste of my time.
How could anyone be caring about what the Soviets did in World War II when the U.S. we want to care about Ukrainian sovereignty? The U.S. orchestrated a Nazi-backed coup of a legitimate, democratically elected government that was neutral. That is an infringement on Ukrainian people's sovereignty, and that's the U.S. and NATO doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, man, it's just sad. It's the propaganda is very deep, and they're using like you guys are saying, they're using the right wing to like get people to think, oh, this is better to think about, and it's the podcast comedians' fault as well too, and they want to act like they're not, they're not a part of it now that things are going the way they didn't think it was going to go. I don't know why the fuck they thought. I mean, well, the white persuasion is very, very.
Zelensky's going to go exile at any time, and he's going to be replaced by a Ukrainian general that's more friendly with the Russians.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to get you guys thoughts on that. They actually showed articles. I don't want to bring up the articles about how Zelensky was being protested against. We all know that the country's under martial law, so if there's protests, that means it's definitely for something.
It's got to be really bad. If they're still showing up for that, they're tired of being drafted. They're tired of being oppressed by the Zelensky regime.
Yeah, and there's these anti-corrupt organizations that I covered. Yeah, and that's
what they're pro-Russia. Anybody against Zelensky is pro-Russia, according to him.
Yeah, but those guys are funded by the United States. So do you guys think Zelensky's time is up? Whoever wants to go first. Like, what do you think?
I don't know. I had a friend who was in the Communist Party of Ukraine, and right after the coup happened, his party was outlawed and forced to go underground. Yeah. So I mean, it's a fascist government. I don't care if the guy who they elected is Jewish. That doesn't mean that's a better figurehead to run a fascist state.
He promised
carrying out genocide against ethnic Russians.
Remember,
it's absolutely disgusting.
Back early on in the war, when he was trying to work out some sort of peace with Putin, and the Ukrainian Nazis assassinated Zelensky's own chief negotiator to put the government in its place and remind them who's actually in charge.
I forgot about that.
If this opposition wasn't backed by the United States, they'd be imprisoned or killed.
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious.
Alex?
No, I was saying, I remember that when that happened. That was come back from the Minsk negotiations.
Yes.
Assassinated that negotiator.
Yeah, the Azov assassinated the negotiator, claimed he was a traitor, said it was a legitimate execution, and Zelensky basically had to accept it. There wasn't much he could do about it, which goes to show how much power that the Nazis have in the military when even the president has to accept that sort of outlawry.
But I feel him blaming Russia kind of like helped the liberals feel like there was some vindication, because based off the response that I got off of TikTok with liberals, they wasn't buying that the anti-corruption groups that he tried to take over into law weren't American funded. They were saying, well, Zelensky said that they are Russian funded, and it's like they still want to believe the nonstop Ukrainian propaganda.
The anti-corruption groups are the groups that Barack Obama forced on the Ukrainian government in return for letting them take power.
They don't even know their own Democrat president policies.
Because that was the whole thing. That was what Biden was supposedly doing in Ukraine for Obama when Hunter Biden got that job, is that Biden was working with the Ukrainian DA who later got, well, not DA, I'm sorry, Attorney General, who later got fired.
It's selective amnesia. These liberals want to say that they're pro-Russia now, ignoring the fact that they were started by Obama.
Yeah.
So they're saying Obama was a Russian agent then.
Oh,
well, remember now, there was that time where Trump was actually trying to claim that Obama and Hillary Clinton were Russian agents. That was actually part of the anti-Russiagate propaganda he was spewing back
in exchange for
from like 2018.
The Clinton Foundation, in exchange for so-called donations from Putin, sold a third of our uranium to the Russians.
That's what Trump called attention to when he said Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were Russian agents.
I don't think Obama was involved, but the Clintons certainly had bid this with the Russians.
Well, that was so that deal. That deal was not with, quote, the Russians. It was with an energy company run by an oligarch who's like a pro-CIA asset. So it's not really honest when people say the Russians in that situation. Sure, the guy's a Russian, but he's working for us.
Or maybe
but at the same time, the reason he's working for us is because he does have ties with Putin, and he's supposedly one of those people who makes back channel conversations.
Right.
So let's move on real quick to Epstein.